Hey guys, I found this clip. It's a fresh clip from the Young Turks, and I've been giving them quite a hard time about the Trayvon Martin case. And they bring out Trayvon in this case, but I would like to talk about it because I have to give them credit for this one. Seems like they're moving in the right direction. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll talk about it.
You know that President Obama has a kill list. We've discussed this before. It's a story that broke, and he apparently personally authorizes the drone strikes that happen. Now,
And I'm glad that he said that because people wouldn't even believe me if I said it. Yes, that's a fact. Anybody that gets killed by a drone strike is being killed by Obama. Obama is pulling the trigger, just like George pulled the trigger when Trayvon got killed.
in some ways, these are executions. Well, it's hard to argue otherwise, actually, because they press a button, a bomb goes down, and the people that bomb hits are dead.
So he's telling us that Obama is executing people, even Americans.
And now, sometimes we know who we're hitting. Those are called personality strikes. We at least hope that we know who we're hitting. We at least have an intended target. Now, a lot of times we kill civilians as we do that. Sometimes we miss the target entirely. Now, there are other kinds of strikes called a signature strike. That's when we don't know who we're hitting. We just see a pattern on the ground. We see some weaponry, or we see other indications of military-aged males in the area, which, by the way, is any man that isn't a kid. And so what we do is we send a drone strike for those signature strikes, and everybody down below gets killed or executed. Now, one of the guys that got executed in this way was a U.S. citizen. Well, actually, 3 of them were in Yemen, but one of them was a kid. He was a 16-year-old, Abdul Rahman al-Awlaki. He had grown up in Colorado. In fact, in a rare cable news investigative story, of all places, Fox had footage of this kid and had the story. So let's watch.
I'm glad that he's bringing this up. The kid was raised in Colorado, and we just had the Colorado shooting. A lot of bad things happen to people that are raised in Colorado, but this was really interesting because you got this kid that has no criminal record. He did nothing wrong. He was just walking in his neighborhood, and he wasn't even attacking the night watchman. He was doing nothing wrong. And Obama took his drone and pointed it at this boy and killed him. And we know now, everybody's under, we didn't know before, but now we know Obama is the guy that actually pulls the trigger when they use these drones. So when he killed this 16-year-old child, he pulled the trigger, he pointed the gun, and he pulled the trigger. And this guy wasn't doing anything wrong. This guy wasn't attacking anybody. He wasn't trying to kill anybody. 16-year-old boy. And if you look at the picture, he's a little 16-year-old, not as big as Trayvon.
This exclusive video of al-Awlaki's teenage son, who was born in Denver, Colorado in 1995, was filmed by the Fox Specials unit last year.
I mean, did you see that picture of that kid? Let's take a little look. I mean, look at that face. Does that look like somebody who's going to go and kill you? Does that look like somebody who's a terrorist? I mean, he looks like a nice, well-behaved kid. I can't even imagine how Obama looked at this kid and said he must die and then pulled the trigger on him. I don't understand that. And then to keep it secret so that we don't even know what happened.
Unit last year.
Now, he was 15 at the time. 1 year later, in Yemen, he gets his drone strike and is killed. His father was also killed in a different strike, but at least his father was on some sort of list. Now, do we know why he was on that list? We don't know, right? They won't share it with us. They keep it secret. But why did they kill the son, a 16-year-old? Well, that's double, triple secret. They won't tell us that at all.
That is why it really bugs me to see this happen, where Obama goes on the television and screams and yells about a kid that got killed while attacking the night watchman. But then he goes and kills a 16-year-old kid who's doing nothing wrong, a kid who's having a barbecue in his neighborhood, doing nothing wrong. He has no criminal history, And after they killed him, they never came out and said, we killed him because of this, and he did this or he did that. None of that happened. We still don't know why they killed him.
But one of our viewers wrote in, and I think he made a great point. It was Tony Daughtry. He said, remember how emotional the president was when a U.S. citizen got killed here? That citizen's name was Trayvon Martin. Remember when President Obama said this?
But my main message is to the parents of Trayvon Martin. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
Oh, he's just so sentimental. You can it's contrition. You can see the hurt in his face that Trayvon suffered and his family is suffering. Oh, it's not artificial at all. This is the real man. You can just see the anguish in his face. You can just feel the pain that he's suffering. Yeah, right.
And, you know, I think they are right to expect that all of us as Americans are going to take this with the seriousness it deserves, and that we're going to get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
Why don't we get to the bottom of what you did when you pulled the trigger on that 16-year-old boy, Mr. Obama? Why don't we get to that truth? Why don't we get to the truth of why the birth certificate that you posted on your website, on the official White House website, is a fake? Why don't we get to the facts? Why don't we get to the fact that your lawyer admitted that it was a fact, that it was a fake, and that the birth certificate that you're supporting as real is not real? So we have no real birth certificate for you. You're not even legally the president. It's, it's sad.
Now, I loved it when President Obama said that, and I felt for him. I felt for Trayvon, obviously, throughout the whole process.
Yeah, you were kind of suckered into it, weren't you there, buddy? I'm glad that you're coming around finally, and I think a lot of the people are going to start coming around as time goes by.
But you know what? Your son could have looked like Trayvon Martin, but he also could have looked like Abdul Rahman al-Awlaki.
Excellent comparison pictures there. See, now that I need to give this guy a pat on the back. This is what I call journalism. This is the proper way to point at the facts and let's talk about it. I mean, look at that. There's a couple great pictures. Of course, we know Trayvon didn't look anything like that when he actually attacked George. But the other guy there on the right, look at him. Does he look like he's a criminal? He was about like that when he got killed.
Not that far apart. Young teenager, U.S. citizen gets killed. The country is justifiably outraged. Young teenager, U.S. citizen gets killed. No one is outraged. They won't even tell us who killed him. At least we know.
And I want to know why the media has completely blacked this out. Why are we not talking about this? Thank God that at least the Young Turks are talking about it, because this kid's death has been swept under the rug. And there is no arrest, and there was nobody standing their ground. There has to be an arrest when there's a murder. This kid was murdered, and we know who the murderer was. We already know who he was, but we can't bring him to justice because there's a whole bunch of people that think that it's more important that we bring George to justice for defending his life. If this kid on the right was attacking Obama and had Obama down on the concrete and was bashing his head on the concrete, yeah, then I could understand Obama using his self-defense rights. But in this case, Obama was safely in the White House pushing buttons or telling people to push buttons. Kill that kid. Yeah, that kid right there. Kill him. Boom, dead. Thank you.
George Zimmerman killed him. They won't tell us why he was killed. Who pressed the button? Why did they press the button? Well,
we know who pressed the button because just like you said in the beginning of the clip, all the time, every time the button is pushed, it's Obama. Obama pushes the button every time somebody is killed with a drone.
In that story where they talked about the kill list, they said President Obama personally authorizes every single drone strike.
Excellent. So now he's saying it. He's agreeing with us. Obama is guilty of murdering that kid. And unless he wants to stand up and stand in court and say it was self-defense, then I'm just going to have to assume that he's a murderer.
Why does this kid matter? And I think he matters a lot, and we've talked a lot about him on the show. But this kid doesn't matter at all. There's something wrong with this picture. Young Turks.
Excellent video, Young Turks. I see that you're coming around. You're getting better. I even like the fact that you used clips from other news outlets, kind of like I do. It's just good. No sense wasting time. These are good clips, and we can use them. I really like that that you brought out the fact that Obama is complicit in a murder, and that he should be held responsible, just like George is being held responsible. But I can guarantee you that his supporters, Obama supporters, will disagree with that. They will absolutely disagree with that, because they're only concerned with race, the color of skin. I guess they're not concerned with the color of skin of the young boy that Obama killed, because it certainly wasn't white. Good talking to you guys. Thanks a lot for listening.